Victoria, are you an expert on Victorian times?
I'm not an expert on Victorian times. I'm going to... If this is a competition to see who can make the most money in Victorian England, I'm going to say that I would become immediately a prostitute.
That is
Can you just check the house rules?
Oh, yeah, keep it light.
Keep it light? What could be jollier than being a Victorian hooker? I am working on the assumption that this is such a well-mannered, gentlemanly group. You wouldn't dare say that he can make more money doing anything than I would make as a prostitute.
So you're going to be a Victorian
because
prostitute?
what would the implication be? Well, I mean, what are you going to say? Look into my face and go, you won't make a penny.
No,
You won't make a penny. So to be honest with you, I think that repression was so much the vogue of the Victorian era. I mean, this is the famous thing that they would cloak the piano legs because men would be too aroused if they saw the naked ankle of a piano. This is it. You wouldn't actually have to be a prostitute to make money. I mean, you could just invent Loaded magazine, couldn't you? And this would be so exciting for people who couldn't look at a musical instrument without ejaculating. Anything in that field.
I like this idea. So you're thinking of invented Loaded magazine.
They'd buy it.
Phil, have you got any initial ideas?
Well, once I'm done jacking off over clarinets... I'm going to write The Wizard of Oz.
OK, let's have your first line of The Wizard of Oz.
It was the best of times. It was the Ozziest of times.
What's your first line as a prostitute?
Would you like to see my yellow brick road?
Hello?
Hello, Darren, it's your mother. Listen, a very important funeral has come up. We need you to come and attend it. It's this Sunday. It's a very close family friend.
Keep it light.
Your father's just told me to keep it light.
The question is, in an attempt to boost your profile, your agent has sent you back to 1969, 1 week before the launch of Apollo 11. You must ensure that the first thing ever said on the moon is your website address. Are you a fan of the moon landings, Victoria? Like, are you into it?
No, I think it doesn't do to have too much perspective on one's life. I don't even like a mirror. The idea of looking back at the whole planet from off it, I think, is terrifying. But my father used to say, the problem is the only people that have been there are astronauts. So it becomes very difficult to ascertain exactly what it's like. They need to send, you know, a poet. I think I may have won this game already because I've...
Have you got your phone out?
Yes, and I've registered the domain name onesmallstepforaman.com. Wow! And I think that's problem solved.
Can I check, is that right? Is it one small step for man? Because Victoria's registered one small step for a man, so she's completely screwed it.
Well, no, clearly not a quizzer. The script said one small step for a man.
Oh, so
and
it was
either, posterity says, either Mr. Armstrong screwed it up or there was a blip on the line. Oh. You don't hear the It was supposed to be one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind. But the problem is, the only people they send to the moon are astronauts.
You've been turned into a pigeon. What's the first thing you do?
Coren Mitchell.
Shit on everyone?
This round really helps us glimpse the real people.
The makers of the Live, Laugh, Love signs are now billionaires. Come up with the next wall-mountable slogan for idiots.
Coren Mitchell.
What are you talking about? The makers of what?
So there are signs... there are signs that people have made that say live, laugh, love, and people like to put them up in their kitchen to show everyone those are their values and stuff.
The slogan should be, this is all finite, nothing matters.
I would buy it.
It's the hottest day of the year and you're incredibly thirsty. What do you do?
Coren Mitchell.
This is terrifying. This is like those psychological tests, and you're going to show me an ink blot, and I'm going to shout, my grandfather's balls, and you're completely revealed. You see, this immediate thing to the unconscious and what you might shout, and there's an audience watching, and they could just... This is terrifying. What was the question?
It's the hottest day of the year, and you're incredibly thirsty. What do you do?
I mean, is the answer not have a drink of water? What am I missing?
Well, yeah.
It says after this, there's always an easy one in there, and you're today's lucky player.
Oh, drink a glass of water.
Yeah, just an easy one, that one.
Oh, thank God.
But let's talk more about your grandfather's balls.
That's the thing. This is what they call it levelling in poker. But what does he think that I think that he think that I think that he thinks? You've just said, what would you do if you were thirsty? And I've shouted, the ink blot looks like my grandfather's balls. And when is the end of the round?
I mean, I'll tell you what, here, I've got written down who each question is for. You've only got one more coming up.
OK.
But I am tempted to give you all four.
You need to lay low for a few months. How do you fake your own death?
Coren Mitchell.
It's so long since I've been out, I might as well have died and nobody would know. I just change nothing. I didn't... You know, everyone said, oh, this bitch has been too much on Zoom and too much... I didn't contact anyone for 18 months and nobody asked. This question is bringing on quite a profound existential crisis. I suppose I'd look back on whether I'd achieved anything. You know, I'd perhaps attend the funeral to see what was said about me, but maybe I wouldn't. Next question.